Hi, I'm Chris Jefferson-Jones. Today I'm here with Alex Williamson to discuss health and reverse therapy. Hi, Alex.
Hi.
Okay. Can we start talking about your illness? What symptoms did you have? What was it like being ill?
I was really tired. I'd get a lot of sore throats, headaches, I'd get really sore skin and achy legs. I couldn't really function, have a full life. I just wanted to go back to bed most of the day. If I did have a good day, I'd try and cram everything in. So then the next day, I was really tired again. So I'd perhaps have one good day every 6 weeks. I couldn't carry on a job because I couldn't commit to anything because I never knew how I was going to feel.
And how long did this last for?
About 20 years. So I had a very limited amount of what I could do. So it got worse as the years went on and my symptoms grew more apparent. So the sore skin, that was like the last 6 months before I had reverse therapy, that started to happen. So it was horrible. And I just think things like that built up, and over time it had obviously manifested itself within me. So by the time I was 19, I was getting more and more tired. I was still going to work, but I'd come home and go to bed. So it wasn't as bad at the beginning as it got further on in life. So through the years, my husband took ill, he had MS, and that was really difficult. So I probably didn't address problems in that. And then by the time I was like 40, I was getting worse and worse, and I'd just be on the sofa most of the day watching telly, and then might do a bit of housework and then go back to bed. So my daughter would get up for school, I'd be in bed, she'd come home from school and I'd have gone back to bed by then. And that was normal, they didn't think any different to that. So now if they came back and they'd been out to college or work or whatever and I was in bed, they'd go, "Why are you in bed?" Because that doesn't happen anymore, you know. So it's a completely different life now.
What sort of treatments did you try to help with this?
I tried everything I could possibly try. I went to the doctor. He just said it's how you are. I had Reiki, acupuncture. I changed my diet. Not all at once. These were all things I tried at different times. Hypnotherapy. I tried everything I possibly could, and I thought, well, I've exhausted all possibilities. I'm never going to get better now. So until I got a phone call from my mum telling me about reverse therapy.
Okay.
So.
And then you made some inquiries and entered reverse therapy.
Yeah.
What was your first session like?
Well, I was a bit nervous and a bit sceptical because I tried all these different things and I thought, oh, well, I want something to work, so I'm going to go in and I'm going to do my best to make it work. And I came out thinking, yeah, this is going to be for me, because after the first session I could tell a difference. I had a feeling within me that I was more positive. We had little goals that we'd set. So one of them, I wanted to go skiing. So I went to the dry ski slope locally and I thought, oh, I'll never be able to do that. And I did it and I felt well for doing it. So it was just like a snowball of getting better from then on. It was brilliant. And in the end, I actually booked a holiday and went skiing, which I've done twice now.
Did you have any difficulties in getting well?
Well, you have to keep a journal, and you have to really go by the guidelines of what your therapist tells you. And I was so desperate to get well that I'd have done anything. So in a way, it wasn't a problem for me. You know, you'd keep your journal, and it helped him to see why you were feeling so ill, and then he could treat you to help you to become better. But it's almost like a self-treatment as well that your therapist teaches you. So it took, I can't remember how many sessions, it wasn't many. It was just over a certain amount of months, and I'm well again. It's brilliant. I can do what I want when I want now. I'm not limited in my life, so it's great.
No restrictions?
No, not at all.
So what did you learn from reverse therapy?
Well, they talk about your head mind and your body mind, and it makes sense when you learn about it, but before that you're not aware that you've got your head telling you what to do, and you're not listening to your sort of true inner feelings, what you should be doing. And from that you learn how to live your life as you should be living it, not how others think you, or you think others think you should live it, if that makes sense. It's all it's just the way that you should live your life, not the way that you expect that you should live your life, and it works.
What is your health like now?
It's brilliant. I wake up in the morning and I'm never sort of thinking, oh, I need to go to bed early because I've got such and such to do tomorrow. If I've got a big day planned, I just carry on as normal. I don't have to sort of rearrange my life around it. So I was down to London a couple of weeks ago for a long day. We didn't get back till 2 in the morning, but I didn't think the day before I've got to be in bed at 4 in the afternoon so that I'll have enough energy to help me. So if I want to go and do something, I go and do it. I've been skiing twice. I'm going again next year. I do what I want when I want. I can commit to things. Before I couldn't plan anything, so it's fantastic.
What advice would you give to people who may be considering reverse therapy, or who are suffering from ME, fibromyalgia, or chronic fatigue syndrome, who feel slightly isolated at the moment, not sure which direction to go in?
I'd say from all of the different therapies I've tried, going to GPs and being rebuffed and not getting anywhere, that this appears to be the only way forward, the only way to get better and to get your life back. And I'm amazed, because I feel like I did when I was 16. I feel brilliant. I can really, like I say, I can do what I want. I work for myself. Run the house, do everything, and it's great. So I definitely try it, and I'm sure that you'll get good results.
Are there certain aspects that you learnt from reverse therapy that you still apply to your everyday life?
Yes, I'm always aware of it. So if I am getting really head mindy, I'll get maybe a little symptom, like a little poke in the ribs, to say, you're doing too much of that, you're doing too much cleaning, or you're not enjoying yourself enough. And it's really weird. You'll just get I'll get a little bit of sore skin, and I think, right, I need to stop what I'm doing or speak up for myself. And so yeah, I do apply it. And if my sleeping pattern's perhaps disrupted, then I'll go back into body. And I'm always aware of it, and although it's not there all the time, it's just at certain situations.
Okay. Any final thoughts?
I wish I'd have known about it before. I wish wouldn't have suffered for all these years, because it's sort of 20 years I felt ill for. So if I'd have known about it sooner, I would have had a fuller life for longer. But yeah, it's great because I've got my life back.